Okay, welcome back. This is Shawn Woodell from Heavenly Soaps and Such. I have been out sick, so sorry I missed the last Soap Talk Tuesday. So I figured I would try to make it up, and I really don't have a whole lot to talk about. I haven't felt like thinking even soap stuff, so but I am going to make some soap here soon. I have my 3 crock pots here. I got 1 pot that I've got to finish washing, and I'm going to be making my Acne Soap. I batch my soap recipes in these containers, and I write on there the R is for regular, and there's no stearic acid in this batch. So this is my regular recipe that I use for most of my soaps, not for all of them. I do have some organics soaps that I make, and I also have like plain lard soaps, some different kind of, I call them kind of like specialty soaps, but this is the regular recipe. It doesn't have the stearic acid in it, and the reason it doesn't is because the stearic acid takes a lot longer to melt. So I like to put the stearic acid directly into the pot and let it melt, then pour this onto it. So I make sure I write that on there so that I don't get confused about what's in there. Because sometimes if it's been a while since you made these, you may question yourself like, oh, did I add it in there? Did I melt it in there? I can't remember if I added it. So I just like to write it on there, and what I'll do is just dump each one of these into each pot after I melt my stearic acid, which I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do today. But I have 3 jugs here, the same stuff, ready for my 3 pots of soap. Also, I made some. I have some lard Lye Soap. Just plain lard Lye Soap here that I've made. I made 3 pots of this. It ended up being about 57 I think, 57 bars, and then 3 small bars, which were the end bars, and I will just use those. But this is becoming one of my really popular soaps. People like it because it's just plain soap. There's nothing in it. It's the old-fashioned type soap. I have customers that still buy this to grate this to wash their clothes in, just like they used to do in the good old days, as I like to call it. And actually they were good old days back then. A lot of work, but they took pride in their the things that they made, and they were actually good for them. So I do have a lot of people asking for this, and then some people just grew up using it, and that's all they want to use. They don't want to switch to something else that dries their skin out. That they want to keep using this. So this has become one of my it is becoming one of my best sellers. I have one of these trays here that a local store gave me. I have about 3 or 4 of these, and what I do is I line it with some paper, and this paper just came in something that I ordered, and I just flattened it out. Actually, I had my daughter flatten it out, fold it up, and I just put it up, and I use it for things like this, lining the trays for soaps, or lining to make my bath bombs to let them dry out. So this soap is here. It's drying out, curing, and it will be snow white when it's done. Now this soap, like I said, is the plain lard. It is a light pink color when I cut it, but in a couple days it'll be snow white as white can be. And I'm thinking that's because it's just not through with the process, and because I don't add essential oils, I don't worry about it having to cool all the way down, and I don't worry about having a little bit of lye left in it, because it will cure itself out and there'll be none in it when it's finished, and it makes it quicker, the process. So what I do is I just take this other one, I sit it right down on top of it, and I line another one, and whenever I make some more soap and cut it, I will just line it up on here, and I can slide these, I can leave them here, or I can put them in a corner somewhere. it's kind of up to you. You could put them on a towel, slide them under the bed if you wanted to. I don't do that, but you could. You kind of could just stick them anywhere, on a table, dining room table, the counter if you have a corner. My problem is that I try to keep everything that I have in this room because I'm kind of a neat freak. I know that's probably doesn't, when you see this room, sometimes you probably think, oh, I don't know about that, but I promise you I am. I'm a neat freak. I like everything in order, everything in its place. So throughout the rest of the house, I don't like my stuff scattered. I like it all in one place. And this is kind of like my place where everything is. And if there are times when I'm just right in the middle of all kinds of stuff, that things begin to look a little hectic, but it's because I'm working on projects. And I do get them cleaned up as quickly as possible. So, having said that, we'll move on to something else. I ordered these, well, back up for a minute. I got these at Walmart when they had them on clearance, and I got about 4 or 5 packs of them, little Santa, and they're harder than the cupcake holders. You could put candy in them, whatever, but my plan is to make some kind of a cupcake bath bomb or a soap for Christmas next year and try out using those. You just slip it down in there, and then that will be a great way to wrap them and make it look more festive. So I plan on using those. Okay, this is some, what is it? Some starch. This is the juice off of boiling some potatoes, and I will strain it. I didn't strain it, I just put it in here so that nothing would get in it. But I was told that if you use the starch water off of boiling your potatoes, it really makes some great dish detergent. So, having said that, I went ahead and poured it up, and I'm going to use this to make a small batch of dish detergent just to see if that helps, if it works better. Now, I tried dish detergent before, but it just didn't do what I wanted it to do as far as the dishes. It worked fine, it sudsed up, but as soon as you put something oily, and I'm not talking real oily, just an oily pot that you had already wiped out, or a bowl, it just did not work. So I quit making quit making dish detergent, and I just went back just to my laundry detergent, which works great. But I thought, if I could add this potato starch water to some liquid soap and it would work great for my dish detergent, then I would be willing to go back making it. So I'm going to use this and make a small batch of dish detergent just to see how it works and to see if it's something that I may want to start doing. So that's just going to be an experiment. I bought these, and I forgot what they're called. They're molds, but they make cute little designs on bath bombs. So I have been making round bath bombs, but some other people were making the cute little ones, and they have these designs on the top. It comes with different designs. Like this one I think is a popular one that people are using. They come in different sizes. So this one would be this size, and then this one would be this size, depending on how big of a bath bomb you wanted to make. And then they also come in square, and it looks like this. And I cannot remember for the life of me what they are called, but I will try to look up real quick. I'm not sure what they're called, but I did order them. Well, let me go to, and I'm sorry, I'm having to look this up, but let me go to my orders, because I ordered these off of Amazon, and it will tell me what I ordered. I've ordered several. Okay, here they are. It's called Mid-Autumn Festival Hand Pressure Moon Cake Mold. So these are moon cake molds. Don't ask me what they really use them for. I have no idea. But apparently to make some kind of a dessert. But everyone's using these for bath bombs. So I did go ahead and order those. I'm hoping to be making some of those soon. But but that will have to wait for now. Also, I have made some, I'll back you up. I made some laundry detergent and I had it wrapped up. I like to let it sit, and this is an old blanket. It's clean, but it's an old blanket that I use to wrap up some stuff. And so I've had it sitting overnight, and I am going to be finishing this up today. It's not quite finished. And I don't know if you can see in there, but that on top is just some paste, some liquid soap that didn't mix in with any lye, so I'm gonna have to go back and add a little bit more. But the actual soap, the actual laundry detergent that I normally make, and I'm sorry, I'm still not feeling well, so this is kind of a little hard today. But it's underneath, and I'm going to post a video of that to show you. Oh, and I'm not going to wrap that back up because I'm going to be finishing it soon. But that's the laundry detergent. It should make about 2.5 gallons, or maybe 2 gallons. I can't really remember. But I will be posting a video of that. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about essential oils. And the one that I chose to talk about for today is Peppermint Essential Oil. And I use peppermint in a lot of my soaps, not all of them, but a lot of them, especially with the soaps that target some skin conditions. But I also use it in my homemade shampoo that I make. It's great for stimulating your scalp. It energizes your mind, wakes you up. It's antiseptic. It helps with dandruff. It helps with lice. And I use it with rosemary and peppermint is what I do in my shampoo. So that's one thing. It's also great for headaches. It helps open you up. You can diffuse it in the air. I actually had a bar that I actually made for a customer, eucalyptus and peppermint, or peppermint and eucalyptus, and she declared it helped with her migraines. She kept ordering the soap, and I made it specifically for her. But I had other people that started using it, but now she really kept using the soap, and just said it just helped her with her migraines and headaches. So peppermint does help with that. It helps with allergies. You can diffuse it. I like to put it in my diffuser and diffuse it through the house. Especially if you're having a cold, or during the season when you need a little opening up. It says it helps with ADHD support. I haven't used that, but our daughter has ADHD, so I may be trying that. It says you can put some on their shirt, and it helps them during their study time. It says you can put a drop under their tongue or under their nose, and it will help with concentration and alertness. It helps with itch. If you're battling a rash, poison ivy, you can put some with lavender oil, and it'll cool and soothe an itch. I would always mix it with a carrier oil, like almond oil, maybe. It has a cooling effect. It says it can reduce fevers, natural bug repellent, muscle pains, sinus care, joint pains. It says it reduces hunger cravings. I mean, the list goes on and on with the things that it can do. It says it boosts energy, it will relieve tight muscles, and bad breath, digestive issues, stomach aches, improves your mental focus, clears your respiratory tract, some of the stuff I've already said. So it's just a really great it's really a really great essential oil. Now, there are different blends you can use it with. Mints like peppermint, spearmint, and eucalyptus could be mixed together. It says it blends well with orange. I don't think I've ever used it with an orange or a citrus. I don't think I've ever really used it with that. I have used it with lemongrass. I love peppermint, tea tree, lavender, and lemongrass. So, and then like I said, in the shower with the shampoo, we use rosemary and peppermint. But there are different things you can mix it with. Those are just a few examples. And it says here that it benefits acne, dermatitis, eczema, headaches, insect bites, mental fatigue, and migraines. It's an antidepressant, antiseptic, astringent and insect repelling properties. It's used for its fragrance in homemade soaps. It has a pale yellow color, a strong, sharp, fresh mint smell. Don't use it during pregnancy or with infants. So just be really, really careful if you're pregnant or you have really, really sensitive skin. You want to kind of stay away from peppermint or go on the lower side of the range of usage. And let's see, I opened up several sites and found things that I thought you would like to know. It's my antimicrobial, and it has toning properties, but it says if you have dry, itchy skin, you might want to stay away from peppermint because it can kind of make those worse. You can use it as an antiseptic skin cleanser. It relieves itchiness, irritation when used in moderation. It cools down inflammation caused by skin blemishes and acne. That's why I use it in my eczema soap and I use it in my psoriasis soap. So those are just some things. And it goes on here to talk about you could use it in other things, dishwashing, laundry detergent. And you could kind of research those things if you wanted to. Let's see. Antibacterial, it says you could use it after a workout. It cleanses your body. Soap cleanses your body, but also the scent of peppermint can stimulate your mind. Can improve concentration, memory retention, and clarity. You can put it in, have a shower or a bath with peppermint soap. Can be relaxing. Sniff the peppermint and can calm your nerves, reduce tension. If you've had a long, hard day of study, you can wash with it and you can feel the calming effects almost immediately. And it talks about aromatherapy, which I've already mentioned, and relaxing baths. And that was all pretty much on that site. Over on this one, I don't know where no, that one didn't help me any. The usage rates, it talks about peppermint using only 0.4 ounces. That's 0.4, so 4/10 of an ounce per pound of oil. And that would be a 2.5% rate. I wouldn't go over 2%. And if you're using it in combination with other essential oils, you have to take that into account also. So if you're going to use 4 essential oils, you wouldn't want to use 2% or 2.5% of the peppermint oil with a bunch of other oils. So you have to use, if you're just using the peppermint by itself, that's one thing. But if you're using 4 oils, you know, you really need to be careful about how much essential oils you put in something. So just do your research on that before you add a bunch of oils in there. So that's peppermint essential oil. It is one of the oils that I definitely would not go without. And this is the second oil I've covered. The first Soap Talk Tuesday, which was last week, I talked about tea tree essential oil and the uses for tea tree. And then this week I'm doing peppermint. So I'm kind of using the ones that talking about the ones that I really, really want to have or really would have if I could only choose 5 to begin with. So those are the 2 so far. I have used tea tree oil this past week. Actually, the last couple weeks I've had shingles and it's not a good experience, but I use tea tree essential oil and lavender essential oil because lavender is calming to your skin, and then tea tree can help with any kind of rashes or breakouts that you get. And I use those and mix those in with an almond oil, and I spritz those on the area where I had the shingles, and it really, really did help a lot. So those are the kinds of things that when you get an illness, rather than, you know, run into the pharmacy to grab something off the shelf, do a little research. You know, you can usually make something yourself. I also make a it's kind of like I call it a homemade Neosporin, and it has tea tree oil in it, and it's it's more, it's thicker than the oil that I spray, but I would take that and also rub on the areas, and that helped soothe it a lot. So I don't think I had the shingles as bad as I could have had if I hadn't have done some of the home remedies. But I also had a sinus infection going on at the same time, so I was struggling with 2 issues. But so anyway, that was tea tree oil. But essential oils can be great. Just be careful, use them in moderation. Do your research before you use them, and make sure that you're using them correctly. And they have great health benefits. So that's all for Soap Talk Tuesday. Oh, I did have this here. This is a mixture of lye water that I'm going to be using in this liquid soap to finish out clearing out the soap, because the part you saw on the top is the soap that did not mix in with as well in with some lye as I needed it to. So I'm going to add a little bit more lye water and mix that together and see if I can't clear this on up. And then I'll make a note that I did this so that next time I'll add more, because it's a while between my batches of laundry detergent, because this will last me a good while, and then you forget. So if you'll make notes of what you did, and next time you can read those notes and go, okay, well, I ended up having to add some more lye, so I'm just going to go ahead and add that up front. So whatever I add to this today, I'll make notes of it, and next time I'll add it to the original batch, and then hopefully I won't have to go back and do this step. But I could just skim it off, and that's what I have done sometimes. I have just skimmed off the top, used the liquid underneath, and the part on the top, I've just mixed in with some salt and used it as a salt scrub for my feet and stuff. That I could do that, but I really want to get this recipe where I don't have to do that. I can just mix this in, and it's going to be crystal clear and ready for me to use. So I'll be working on that today. So I hope you had a great Christmas, and your new year is off to a great start. This is Shawn Woodell coming to you from Heavenly Soaps and Such, and I hope you've enjoyed our Soap Talk Tuesday. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up.